Hello. So we are back with our mini traffic talk for the month of June. I'm Jeanne Ingersoll, the subject matter expert for our Shopper Insights portfolio for North America with Sensormatic Solutions. And I am joined by my wonderful, esteemed, lovely colleague, Grant Gustafson, our head of retail consulting for North America with Sensormatic. Grant, how are you?
Jeannie, it's good to be back, and it really feels like these videos are kind of coming quicker every month. So
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah, last time we spoke, we were talking about the holidays through the summer that generate, the most amount of traffic for retailers. And it's crazy that we're here, right? We're heading towards, the middle, towards the end of June. And now that we're halfway through the month, we really want to start to aim our focus on looking towards back to school and what this means for retailers, right?
yeah, so it's crazy to think about that. Here we are in June. It feels like kids just got out of school, and here we are talking about back to school. But historically, the back to school season has been one of the largest consumer spending events of the year. Spending per household has really continued to grow over the past couple of years, and those estimates expect to see that trend continue this year, although it may moderate a little bit compared to years past. And then, additionally, back to school can really be a great barometer for how the consumer's feeling heading into the all important holiday season.
Yeah, I would say so. I feel like back to school is always a really good kind of indicator and focus for retailers. And you recently wrote a blog predicting peak shopping periods for back to school. And a lot of times there's a lot of discussion around how do you identify those trends and how do we really look into those things. So I kind of want to give a peek behind the curtain to our audience. Can you share how did you come up with the predictions?
Yeah, so really our back to school peak week predictions are largely just a calendar exercise. We first start by reviewing historical traffic trends over the past couple years. We want to take into consideration things like where certain holiday falls, like July 4th and Labor Day, and make sure that those still kind of align to past years. But really, what we see is that year over year, the traffic trends are really pretty similar when it comes to back to school. But with that said, there is definitely a pretty significant regional difference based off when your individual calendar, academic school year starts in your area.
So the regions will dictate that. But what I'm hearing you say is that really leveraging the trends and looking at that, what occurred in the past to really provide some visibility into what we think we may anticipate seeing is the way to go. We always say in our business, the trend is your friend. So it sounds like that's kind of the theme of the message here. So let's maybe take that a step further. What are some of those general trends that we start to see specific to back to school when we think of peaks prior back to the start of the school years?
Yeah. So, generally what we see with back to school traffic trends is that traffic really kind of starts to pick up following the July 4th holiday, but really will peak about 2 weeks before your individual calendar academic year starts. And really what we see is that's really going to be based off your area, where you're at, where your school is. For example, Jeannie, both of us, we live in the Chicagoland area. Schools here tend to start a little bit later, more towards the
Mhm.
end of August, compared to other areas like in the South and in the West, where schools tend to go back a little bit earlier. So here in the Midwest, we anticipate our peak shopping for back to school to be between August 4th and August 10th. But other regions may start earlier or later, depending on where their calendar is for their individual school districts.
Got it. Got it. So it sounds like the name of the game to summarize that is looking at your traffic trends in your specific area. It's really a great opportunity to understand when back to school occurs in your region and how those traffic trends really align heading into that, knowing that the peaks really happen to appear about 2 weeks prior to the back to school. Makes perfect sense. We don't want any of our kiddos to be sent to school without any of their supplies, or off to college, rather, without any gear. So if you're interested in reading more about our back to school blog written by the one and only Grant Gustafson, you can find out more about other regions also. You can check out the blog on our website. And additionally, if you're wondering how shoppers plan to shop for back to school or the biggest challenges that shoppers are facing, when it comes to back to school shopping. So any of the retailers out there, if you're really curious and wanting to understand that, we actually conducted a consumer sentiment survey, and stay tuned for the results. We're going to be sharing those on our Traffic Talk for the month of July. So next month, I'll be back here with my colleague Sterling Rates. We're going to be discussing the results in our next episode. So until then, thanks, Grant, as always.
Always a pleasure, Jeannie. Until next time.